Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest This is the Music Meets podcast. For episode 83, I'm delighted to be joined by the great Leslie, who at the time of recording this podcast are just a couple of days away from releasing their second EP, 21st Century Problems. And as well as looking ahead to the EP, we're going to look back on the band's debut EP that was released earlier in the year, The End and the Beginning, supporting Franz Ferdinand, and their London headline show in December. So I'm joined by Ollie, Ryan and Freddie at the moment. It's a very warm welcome to the This is the Music Meets podcast. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, yeah,
hello,
good.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's in Italy. That's what I said when I said ciao.
Oh, yeah. How was that? Yeah, that's good. Great, yeah.
Hey. Brilliant. Great stuff. Well, as I say, thank you very much for coming on. Understand that Alfie might be joining us in a little while's time. So if there is suddenly free at the moment and there's a fourth person, it is planned. But yeah, as I say, obviously great having you on. EP number 2, 21st Century Problems comes out this Friday, the 15th of September. So how excited are you guys to be having another EP out?
Very excited.
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
Very excited.
Yeah, very excited.
No, it's great. It's great.
Really excited.
No, it's good.
It is.
It's good. So do you wanna?
Yeah, definitely. So this one, I think, is a bit more, even more in the face than the first one was. So we're going a bit more political with this one. So yeah, just a bit more attitude overall, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's just good fun. You know, when we release. Whenever we release new stuff, it's just a real sense of pride that you created something and you're actually really happy with it. So it's a mixture of very positive emotions, slowly followed by a low because nobody listens to it.
Also a bit of relief though, right? Because it takes so long to record it, to write it, to then put it out, and all of the sort of admin that goes around promoting it and all of that stuff. And so it's kind of a relief when it's finally out. And the thing is that we've been listening to those songs for months.
Yeah.
And so it feels weird to be releasing songs that you've known for such a long time. It's like, oh, no one's heard these yet. That's weird.
Yeah, I get that. Because when we write it, I always get a sense of real excitement. I'm just like, yeah, this is really good. And then you get a sense of excitement when you properly record it. You're just like, oh, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And then you're here for the first time.
Yeah.
And then,
And then all of those songs slowly rotate as your favourite song.
Yeah. And then you hate them by the time they come.
And then you're I'm bored of that. And then they come out and they go, this is old tap now.
something new.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So very excited.
I think it's not that.
So yeah, it's good. The roller coaster, basically.
Brilliant. Well, I'm sure everyone is definitely looking forward to it. I'm sure that people will definitely listen to it when it comes out. But one of the things you sort of just touched on it there a little bit was kind of like about the two songs that you've released so far, Burn Me, Drown Me, and My Left Eye, are obviously quite like a political theme behind it. So is that kind of like the theme for the album, like on the other tracks that you're putting on it?
Yeah, very politically and socially aware, and just us commenting on certain things that we think are very important right now.
And kind of like then looking at that, was that like a conscious decision, to be able to write a song or songs that are of a political theme? And kind of like, how do you see like your songwriting sort of continuing in that vein moving forward, or was that sort of specific for this kind of like era of the great Leslie?
Well, I think, and I've been saying this for a few weeks now, that since we've grown our fan base quite a lot recently, I think it was at the time for us, to do something like this, because we've obviously, we all have very, subjective and very strong opinions at times, but it's just a fact that now that we have the voice and the fan base, that it comes with a certain responsibility, to speak about these topics. It's not always easy, you know.
Mm.
I mean, we for example, anxious tendencies, that talks about depression and yeah, anxiety in general, and that's just a topic nobody really wants to talk about. You know, it's not easy, and it affects us as well. So yeah, all of this is very relevant, and I think it was at the time for us to do something like this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And also to expand on that, it's I think when we come to writing anything, it's just like what is it that we want to talk about? It's never a conscious, okay, now we're going to be political. For this one, I knew that was kind of where we would go, just because there's just so much going on. Mm-hmm. So there's so much to talk about. You know, to kind of take it away from the sometimes philosophical, sometimes it's just about, you know, various experiences that happen to us, but to take it away from that briefly, because the first EP was just about the development and demise of a relationship, and to do something completely different kind of invigorates the writing process, I think. Mm-hmm. So the next one we want to do won't be political, and it might be slightly social, but it won't be political, and then maybe we'll do more like that. But it's just to kind of keep things fresh. But the sounds, you know, that's just always constantly developing, and hopefully it's you know, it all works together.
Mm. To expand on what Fred said, actually, because Fred said, you know, I've been saying this for a few weeks, but when Fred first said that, it made me realize that by singing about the passionate stuff like global warming, you know, the government and what they're doing, it helps us. It gives us a stronger feeling or some stronger sense when you're playing the music.
Yeah,
it gives you more passion to it because you actually have a message to give. Yeah, it just feels, I don't know, somehow it feels more meaningful when you're playing them.
Yeah, sure. And I think from obviously listening to the two songs that you've obviously put out so far, I think as well that for me it comes across that you guys actually like genuinely care about what you're writing and what you're singing about, and obviously what you're playing as well. Because I think that sometimes I've seen bands that maybe just try and jump on a cause because that seems to be like the popular thing to do. If that's, hopefully that's making some sort of sense. So obviously it is clearly a subject that is, you know, that is close to your heart with every, you know, the political stuff and the social stuff as well that's going on at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what's the point of you know, just going with the flow, or just, you know, what's currently, you know, what's selling at the moment? What's the point of that? Like, we don't really do that. And
clearly,
I can well, I would assume that we're pissing quite a few people off with this EP as well. Again, there's some strong opinions in there. But you know, they're ours, and that's the whole point of our music, is to be able to express that, what we feel. So
they should also be other people's opinions, though, shouldn't they?
Hopefully,
that's what it's about, really. This is what your opinion should be. So listen to this song.
Brilliant. And I mean, obviously, because this might be difficult, you might not want to give too much away on this next question, but do you have like a favourite song from 21st Century Problems, like maybe one that perhaps gets the particular message across that you're trying to share with everybody?
Tough.
For me, it's definitely Burn Me, Drown Me, because yeah, it just, I don't know, it's a really fun song to play, but also I really get the message in it, and I know the lyrics, so yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've got a music video for Burn Me, Drown Me, which is basically a lyric video.
Yeah.
And I made that video, and so I think it really burned into me the meaning of the song when I was making it. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like that song's got a really strong message, and it's definitely a message that no one could not ignore, especially when you watch the video, because it really grounds in what Ollie's singing.
I don't know, I think maybe Aliens for me. Musically, it's just so it hits so hard, but also lyrically and contextually, it's so important. It's about so many different facets of current issues that we find ourselves dealing with structural racism and immigration, and I suppose in to a certain degree climate change as well, because so many people you have asylum seekers and climate change, people coming leaving their homes because due to climate change, all that sort of thing. And being the British band that we are, it also kind of harks back to the innate fascistic tendencies of British politics, which has been prevalent for forever. So it's for me that kind of encompasses so many different important things and really encapsulates a lot of the important messages in the EP, which is probably why it's the one for me, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I probably have to look at it from a lyrical point, where it's Burn Me, Drown Me for me, because it's so, it's so obvious that we are just ignoring all these signs. For example, take what happened in Libya just yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And that the world is burning, and we just don't really care, do we? And we all say, oh, it's horrible, but nobody really does anything about it. And the fact that we've just accepted that's quite scary. So lyrically, it would be Burn Me, Drown Me. But to play, I think that Aliens is great fun, because it's got some really cool riffs in there, and it hits so hard, it really hits you in your face it'll be the lead track of this EP as well. So the aim was kind of to, you click on it, and first 2-3 seconds you go, whoa, what is this? So yeah. I'm torn.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing Aliens. Then that sounds really exciting. So yeah, as I say, looking forward to it. And yeah, thanks for sharing your favourite songs there from the EP. But obviously, clearly, as you guys know, it's been a very, very busy year for the great Leslie. You've obviously put out 4 new singles. And also back in March as well, you released your debut EP. It was called The End and the Beginning. It's truly a fantastic EP that's amassed 67,559 streams on Spotify since it was released. So congratulations, first of all, on that achievement. That's really impressive. But what was it like for you guys getting your first EP out? Because obviously, I should probably rewind a little bit, because obviously you've released up until that point predominantly singles. There's a couple of live tracks that you put out as well. So kind of like, if you can remember that far back, kind of like, what was the mood like? The anticipation of getting your first EP out.
Well, with we basically push ourselves to the absolute limit, where everything is done very quickly, because we're always on a really tight schedule. So like, we did the EP, you have to write it, then record it, and then it's coming out. And while that's coming out, we're then writing another EP. So it's just like a never ending thing for us. We're just constantly writing, and if we're not writing, we're recording and putting out a new EP. So I have to say, kind of stressful, really. We do it so fast, and then you go into the studio and you perhaps don't feel quite ready to record it, but that's just, we're really good at sticking to our schedule. So just go for it. And yeah, I think for me it feels stressful, but also fun. And like I said earlier, it's just kind of like this roller coaster of emotions, really, because you then start liking more songs than others, and then you'll go through all of them, will become your favorite for a couple of days, and then you'll switch, and then you won't like them anymore, and then you're writing new songs, and it's like, oh, now we're releasing songs, but we've written new songs, and it's very odd.
But yeah, I mean, it's the first full body of work we've done together in this constellation, and I just feel immensely proud, really, because I've never done it before. I've done singles before, but never an EP, and a lot of thought has gone into this, and you have to kind of align the songs, and you have to align the storylines. So how are we going to do this? So it's a lot of work, and I think we can be very happy with the result. So that's for me. I'm just really proud of it.
I think for me, it's a mixture of both your answers.
Interesting.
Ryan doesn't know his parts.
Yeah.
Right, because we got something done.
He's not joking.
No, he's not joking.
He
doesn't know his parts.
When I go to record drums, the last two EPs, Ollie's just been in the studio with me because we do drums first, like every band. So, and Ollie will be literally in the room with me, like going, "The verse is in 2 bars," like, telling me what's coming up because I'm like, I don't know the sections properly. So he's like basically going like this to me.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Yeah.
Brilliant, great stuff. And also as well with that with the debut EP, further congratulations are in order because the beginning and the end is obviously going to get a vinyl release, which I believe you're going to be shipping out as of next week. So how proud are you that you're going to get your first, and right on cue? It's as if you guys knew.
So yeah, here it is.
Yeah, looks fantastic. So yeah, how proud are you? Sort of first body of work, as you just mentioned there, but also as well your first physical release as well.
Yeah,
This somehow cements that we're a proper band.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, this is like
Not a
what
joke anymore.
proper bands have
This is
vinyl.
serious. Yeah. No,
Uh,
but seriously, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool to have this, you know. And it took a while, so these take quite a long time.
Oh,
in
it
fact.
takes so long. Too long.
like months
So yeah.
and a lot of money.
Yeah.
God.
It was worth it. It was worth it, and it just feels incredible to hold this, and it sounds great as well. So we had the made in the UK, which apparently is a good thing. So yeah, no, proud again. I'm one proud fan.
Yeah.
Just saying that Alfie has just walked in.
Oh yeah,
So
hello.
Alfie will now
Hello.
will interview.
Oh, hang on, let me get undressed first.
Oh, he's getting undressed first.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And I must admit, I do need to pull my finger out. Hello, Alfie. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us. So we're just going to jump sort of on from a couple of months from the release of the beginning and the end. Obviously, Easter. You made a visit to the most famous recording studio in the world, obviously Abbey Road. So those that maybe aren't aware and maybe just getting into the great Leslie, can you just let us know exactly what you got up to there and what the experience was like being at Abbey Road?
Oh.
Welcome.
Shall I take this one, guys?
Yeah, you
can. So we had 2 days at Abbey Road. I mean, we were lucky enough to be able to go and record a live album. So we had 1 day doing a live album, which is essentially just our live set that's going to be released on vinyl in the coming months. As well as that, we had an additional day of writing. So we just pretty much had a free-for-all. We were just left in Studio 2, so the iconic Studio 2, just to kind of do what we wanted throughout the day. And that's where we wrote pretty much the whole of the most recent EP, 21st Century Problems.
Brilliant. There you go. Wow. So sounds
there importantly. Well,
technically recorded the demo there.
Kind of, yeah.
Because they just left it on record and then left us in the room, basically.
Oh, yeah, got it.
And did you go around and have a look at the sort of, you know, the whole studio in terms of, you know, like I've heard there's like a lot of obviously like the Beatles musical instruments that have been left behind there from over the years, obviously other bands and that. But
sorry, we were playing around on the piano that was used to record Let It Be. Other than that, no, there wasn't really much lying around. We tried to go sneak into a few other studios, but everything was occupied. And you know, we didn't really want to, you know,
get thrown out on your first visit.
The thing is though, really, we had 2 days to use that room, and so I actually didn't even think about wanting to go look around the other rooms. Yeah, because it was like we've got 2 days in this room. We've got to use this time like to maximum capacity. Yeah. It was actually really quiet because it was like a bank holiday, wasn't it?
It was Easter.
Yeah, it was Easter. Yeah.
That's why no one was there.
Yeah. Brilliant. So let's talk live music. Obviously, to celebrate the launch of the new EP, you're going to be playing at Hotbox in Chelmsford on Friday, the 15th of September. And you're also going to be playing the Moth Club in London on December the 1st. So for those that maybe haven't actually been able to catch you live yet, what can they expect from a Great Leslie show? And looking ahead as well to the Moth Club show specifically, do you think you might be putting a Christmas song in the set? And if so, which one do you think you might choose?
Good question. I mean, to answer the first question, our live set is chaos. Yes.
Sweat, mate. Sweat. I like how you kept a really straight face. It's chaos. No, it's the best show you'll ever go to. We are masters of our craft, and you will not regret it. The second question, no, we will not be doing that.
But if we were to do a Christmas song, what would we do?
I would say the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't let the bells in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't let the... Full of lovely innuendos.
Yeah,
great song.
Or Last Christmas.
Oh, is this, yeah, see the bells end or Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
We can put them in one.
A little Christmas, the Great Leslie Christmas mashup coming soon. And obviously just sort of continuing with live gigs, but sort of want to go back to last year. You obviously had the fantastic opportunity of being able to support indie legends Franz Ferdinand up in Manchester. So what was that experience like for you guys?
Rubbish.
Amazing.
Rubbish.
That was unbelievable. Yeah, it's like, you see, it's like arriving in a 5-star hotel. Anyone who's been fortunate enough to go to a 5-star hotel, they do everything for you. So basically, we had to walk up on stage and play, and that's all we had to do. Yeah, that was nice. We didn't have to mess around. That's usually not the case.
Yeah, you got to do everything.
And we got fed really well too.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Lamb shack.
You know, we're not used to dirty old green rooms that are pretty much a utility cupboard.
I didn't get any of that.
And oh yeah, you didn't. You were too busy putting your makeup on.
No, it's because I don't eat before.
It's not even a joke.
I don't eat before I sing, so I couldn't have any of the food. And then by the time we finished, there was no food left.
Yeah, true. But yeah, great food.
But I'm glad these guys got to eat.
One funny thing is that so you do get this thing called a rider, which I'm sure everyone knows what that is. But so I think when we got our rider, we put on it Lucozade, bananas, and
room temperature
water. That's all we did. And then go into this room where there's all this food, like the lamb shanks being made for everyone and stuff. And they put these baskets, and the other support bands, they had this basket. It was full of like tequila, like you name it, Pringles, whatever. That's like full
single malt scotch,
like everything. And I was just like
really fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have asked for anything.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to stay, humble if everything's done for you. But I have to say that meeting the band, that was great for me as well. Meeting the people from Franz Ferdinand. Obviously, first and foremost, Alex Kapranos is the lead singer. They are so down to earth. You would not believe it. And I can imagine that it's quite hard, when people wipe your ass to stay humble. Yeah. Like, I mean, the thing is, they've been through the grind,
Yeah.
Like, I've met a fair few famous people before, and a lot of them really, really nice people, very down to earth, quite humble. A lot of them are just the complete bloody opposite. I'm not going to give any names, but leave you with a really sour taste in your mouth. But no, the guys from France were lovely.
Yeah. Good example of Alex is that so we're the first band on the entire set. He is standing like literally 5 meters to my left.
Right next to
Watch
me.
the whole gig, he's like filming his phone. It just felt so good to be playing drums, and he's just standing there and really enjoying it and like really paying attention to us, and it just felt really good to have someone so like you say, down to earth and actually a caring person. You just don't, for some reason, just don't expect it. It was great. But I found like a broken record because you asked how it was. I'm just gonna say stressful again.
I've never seen you like that.
I was
before.
so
You
stressed
were
before.
freaking out.
Yeah.
I remember walking. So like the stage is humongous, right? And you know, we used to play in like little venues, and then I got there last, and they're like, I think Ollie walked me out. Is that right? Did you walk me out to the stage to show me it?
Yeah, I think so.
And it like you just see this stage, you know, it's like 100 meters by 50 meters, and it's just like, and I literally, I was just like, oh my god, fucking hell!
Yeah, you were literally.
I was literally shitting myself the whole day, quite literally.
Brilliant. Well, obviously, you must have got through it, and but so here at This Is the Music, we like to shine a light on unsigned bands and artists like the great Leslie that are trying to establish themselves within the music scene. So kind of like over the last sort of 12 months or so, what sort of bands and artists from that scene have you guys been listening to?
Really like, I've mentioned it every time we have an interview, but I really like Wonder Horse. They're great. I think they've been going for a while, but they've just started to kind of blow up. I really like Eads. They're great. Yeah. Who else? Just that we really like. I mean, Wet Legs. Like they're not independent, but I just love them. I think they're fantastic.
There's a new girl band that I've been getting into called Last Dinner Party.
Oh yeah, they're great.
They're really cool.
First Aid Kit. I mean, they're not indie. But
Yeah, they've been around for years now.
Yeah.
They are great.
But they just released a new thing, and I was just like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big Nothing But Thieves fan. They always impress me.
Yeah,
And it's hard to impress me.
They're one of those bands I don't want to like, but then I hear a song and go, "Who's this? It's great!" And I'm fuck.
Back. I really like. There's some guys from Newcastle. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called. Hang on, I'm looking.
Cheating. That's cheating.
The Pale White.
Oh yeah,
they
are.
Good. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Some fantastic choices there, and I think there's a couple there that should probably check out myself as well. But obviously we've sort of spoken a little bit about what the great Leslie have been doing this year. Obviously, what a fantastic year that you guys have had so far. But for these next sort of couple of questions, I just sort of want to try and maybe find out a little bit more about the personalities maybe that exist within the band. So the first question is, what is the one item that you couldn't live without?
Crack.
Don't say crack. Don't say crack.
We told you not to say crack.
I forgot to ask. Is this kind of like?
Well, it's too late.
Well, it's too late now. It's Radio 1. It's kosher. No.
Right, not crack.
Saved it.
Nailed it.
Go on then, Alfie.
What's your serious answer?
Oh God,
That is a difficult question.
that is a really difficult question.
One item that we can. I'm going to be a basic bitch and say a guitar.
So bloody
Does that have to be an item or can it be a part of us?
It can be anything that you want.
I broke my hand recently, and while I had it in full plaster, I realised how precious hands are. I know that's probably part of it, but trying to do everything one-handed was absolute killer. It was just ridiculous.
Do you need two to that? Fred, what's an item?
I don't know, man. I was going to say guitar, but that's taken.
Guitar.
Guitar is good, but I'm going to say music. I'm going to say music.
Is that an item though?
Does it have
It's
to be
an
an
expression.
item? Does it have to be an item? Yeah.
It can be anything that you want.
Okay, there you go. I got it. I'm going to say music.
Okay.
My hand was a bit stupid. I mean,
No, you're fine.
gonna be generic. My bass. I love my bass.
Water.
Now I know who chose the rider for the Franz Ferdinand show.
Yeah, Lucas Day.
Brilliant. So which band member is most likely to run off and join a religious cult?
Why would that be me? I'm a bloody atheist.
It's going to be Ryan.
I may have led a cult at one point, but that's neither here nor there.
But you work with people in your cult, no?
Yeah, probably you.
He literally worked
Probably
for
Ryan.
the occult.
It's undeniably going to be me.
Yeah, he's going to become a wizard.
I'm already involved.
And which band member on a night out is most likely to get in trouble?
It's got to be you, no?
Yeah,
you got stabbed like
definitely
5 times.
him.
That's past me. I'm a good boy now.
Definitely him.
He's a hero.
A hero? Well, what have you done?
Oh no, I just
or is that just in general?
If you see someone who's in trouble, needs a little bit of help, Alfie is there.
If you think someone's doing something wrong,
He's there.
he's there. he's Superman.
Yes.
And what is the one TV show that you'd like to go on or that you would go on, sorry, as a contestant?
Well, you mean like a reality thing?
It can be reality.
Okay.
It can be anything. Throw it out there.
Oh, you know what I wanted to do as a kid? Golden Balls. Did you ever watch that?
No,
Yeah.
I've never. No.
That was a bloody brilliant
Yeah, I
show.
know.
If you ever get to chance to watch an old episode of Golden Balls, I'm sure it'll be on Dave or something like that. Go and watch it. It's fantastic.
I'm going to go for Dale's supermarket sweep. What was he had the other one as well, the pet one. Pets wins prizes. That was amazing. You might be too young for that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone said their pets, and then they'd like hamsters, and they'd like race them down a track and stuff, and then you'd win money.
Yeah, I'm going hamster.
No, but I'm just saying what would happen. In the show.
Right, okay.
I'd quite like to go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because I'm full of random pointless knowledge and I'd like to be a millionaire.
That's two reasons. I'm going to say The Chase because every time I watch it, I go, I know this answer. And I usually get around 85% of the questions.
Oh,
So, yeah.
How much money do you normally get up to then?
Well, it depends what kind of.
I don't know how it works.
you have to like gamble up.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Irrelevant.
But again, it's random. It's random.
Well, it won't
knowledge.
make you a millionaire.
Yeah,
No.
Fred, you idiot.
Not quite.
So, brilliant stuff. Love those answers there. They were a lot of fun. But what other plans have you guys got for the rest of this year? Obviously, we know obviously about the Moth Club gig and obviously the EP as well that you've got coming up. What other plans have you got?
So we've got an additional 3 or 4 EPs planned for 2024. So
This
we're
year?
just going to be this year. But we need to be. But that's what I'm getting.
Oh, right, okay,
God
sorry.
damn it!
Sorry.
So we're just going to be writing non-stop.
We start recording the next one.
Yeah, so we're going to be writing, we're going to be recording, we're going to be trying to get some better shows, we're going to be putting out more and more merch.
And we will very likely play some gigs down south coast, Brighton, Bournemouth.
Yeah, we've always done up
Portsmouth.
north, and it'd be good to get down south. We haven't really ventured that way.
Yeah.
I like it down south.
South End.
No, it's not South End.
What? You can't say that.
I'm allowed to.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well, it certainly sounds like you're going to have a very, very busy sort of rest of the year and into next year as well. But unfortunately, Ollie, Ryan, Alfie, and Freddie, that is the end of the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thanks very much for coming on and letting me know exactly how it's been for the great Leslie this year. You've been great guests, and I have really enjoyed this one. But just before I do let you go, can you let the This Is the Music listeners know exactly where you can find you on social media? Yeah.
So all of our social media is at the Great Leslie Band, except for Twitter, which is at the Great Leslie _.
It's called X, by the way.
Oh, sorry, X.
It's on X.
X/Twitter. And if you go to our website, you can get to all of those places, which is www.thegreatleslieBand.com.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well, we're going to put that information in the episode bio as well, along with the link as well to buy that debut EP as well on vinyl, which is going to be shipped early next week. But as I say, thanks very much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm now off to not only buy myself a copy of the vinyl, but also as well get myself a ticket for that Moth Club gig as well on December the 1st. As I say, thank you very much for coming on, and I wish you the best of luck with the new EP.
Awesome, man.
Thank you very
much.
Appreciate that.
Cheers.
And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for listening to the latest This Is The Music Meets podcast. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe so you never miss out on any future episodes. And it would be greatly appreciated if you could leave us a 5-star rating and written review, as it really does help the bands and artists we interview to be discovered. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again somewhere down the road.